And coming out, y'all, we got Judge Nikita Blocton on with us this morning. Big round of applause.
Hey.
That's right. Miles College owned, member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, now Circuit Court Judge Nikita Blocton. So before you first of all, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. How's everyone doing?
All right.
We doing good this morning. Now we want to know some things that we should know before we come into court, and because we're going to be letting you take phone calls. Thank you for coming on with us this morning. Just go and give us a little, if there's any changes in the law or
Well, of course, I'm down here in Alabama, and we've had some changes here. We were one of few states that still recognize common law marriages, and so that's basically when two people stay together and just say they call each other husband and wife and commingle funds and never got married, but all of a sudden, that common law when people say we common law married. Well, that's no more the case now for the state of Alabama. We have joined the other states, the majority of the states, in saying it has to be a ceremonial marriage effective January of 2017. So, but pretty much for a child support,
I can move somebody in then.
Yeah, you can move them in now. At first, people were a little skeptical about that because when you got to Alabama, you had to be careful because people could all of a sudden say we're married.
Now, we're coming off. We on the radio everywhere, so don't just make everything Alabama.
We're one of few states, and so, that was just a rarity, of course. Sometimes we fall in the minority, but now we have joined the majority of the states in the United States by saying, hey, effective January 2017, you have to have a ceremonial marriage. And so, but other than that, when it comes to child support and custody, same issues.
Judge Blocton, is different states getting ready to pass the 50-50 law like, you have?
California.
Yeah, like California.
50-50 law as of custody?
Yeah.
I would tell you, you are seeing a change probably among the entire country where people are now considering more 50-50. Even, for our courts here, it's the same situation where fathers are advocating for more rights throughout the country to be recognized as being more of an active parent, and for the courts to recognize that there are a lot of fathers who are taking care of children now. And so we have about two groups, male groups here, who have been advocating. There's been several legislations to hit, and so a lot of the judges throughout the country are looking at this differently. And so it used to be mama's baby and moms had a preference, but I tell you, that's no longer the case. Everybody is fair game.
Oh, wow. All right, if you want to talk to Judge Nikita Blocton, you can call 866-9-RICKEY. We have any call?
Yes, we do.
Let's go. Good morning. You're on with Judge Blocton.
Hi, my name is Dynasty from Georgia, and I'm calling because I have a toddler, and the father has not been doing anything to support the toddler. So we're at the point of establishing child support, and I pretty much am at the point where I'm having to move out of Georgia just to gain more family support. And I just want to make sure that the father will not be able to use that against me in court, that I have to move.
Okay, I couldn't make out some of it. I knew she said something about not paying child support. Well, what was the part that she thought would be used against her?
She's saying that she is not her guy who wasn't paying child support for a long time, and she moved out of the state to get more help with family. But she wants to make sure that as she establishes child support, that it won't affect the fact that she moved won't affect the case.
Okay, well, I would say that when it comes to child support and custody in general, you're not punished because you delayed to bring a child support action. So a person can bring a child support action at any point in time. I've had, there are petitions that courts get where people are 17, almost age of majority, and just now they're just asking for child support. So no one is punished because of your delay. So once you file your petition, once anybody file a petition for child support, custody, or anything, you're not prejudiced as to why are you just now exercising a right, a fundamental right that you have, which is to bring a lawsuit for child support, custody, or whatever it is.
All right, you're on with Judge Blocton. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, man, this is Jamal, man. I'm calling down here from Moultrie, Georgia, man. And my question is basically, I just recently got married in June, and my baby mom, my son's mother is trying to sue me for back child support, man, for $12,000. But I pay child support, and I pay an extra $50 each month towards my arrears. But I'm trying to figure out, can she really, sue me for back child support, and I'm already paying, extra every month to child support?
Well, of course, Rickey, I always tell everybody I can't give legal advice, but one thing I can tell anybody is that anybody can file a lawsuit asking for anything that they want, but they have the burden of proof of to establish that they have a right and within the law to get what they're asking for. And in this, in any situation where arrears or back support has already been addressed, I don't see a court. We call it res judicata in a law, meaning it's already been litigated. We already talked about that, dealt with that, and the court has addressed that. So unless there's some new arrears, a court is not going to readdress an issue that has already been addressed by the court.
Wow, we got one of the best judges in the country on the phone. If you want to talk to Judge Blocton, call Judge Nikita Blocton. You can call 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY, Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Anyway, saw you last night, but did it broad day.
Hey, hey, I like the way that beat dropping there, boy. I like that right there.
Meek Mill will not stop.
Yes, sir.
Neither will Drake.
I know that's right, man. Rickey Smiley Morning Show. We got Judge Nikita Blocton on with us this morning. We're going to get right to the question. If you have any question you want to talk to Judge Blocton, call 866-9-RICKEY. You ready, Judge Blocton?
I'm always on ready. I'm a stand.
Yes, Judge Blocton.
She is so cool. It's just so,
Right.
I mean, it's tripped
Right.
out that she's so smart with all this judge stuff. She's
Right.
like, I'm always on ready. What are you talking about, player?
But see, you need one of them in your
I
pocket,
love
though,
it.
Brad. That's what you need.
I love it.
Eva Brett, don't be hyping her because she.
I love it. No, Nikita, my
don't
girl.
know her.
Nikita, the judge, I
Y'all
want to
don't
go
know
in
her.
front of.
Okay.
Y'all don't really know her.
I know
Y'all
enough.
Don't know her.
Don't act like that, Ricky.
Hey, we like this. We know each other.
Right. I
That's
see you.
love.
She getting on my nerves. She show up. She don't knock on the door. She just walking.
She ain't got to knock. She is Nikita Blocton.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
I tell
But
you
yo,
what,
when-
walk up in here. Walk up in my house again. Let's go to the phone. Rickey's sounding like Mike Mills. Walk up in here again.
When judge is on the front of your name, you can do a few extra things.
Hello.
Like I be in his swimming pool when he come, he be like, "Who's swimming in the pool?" I'm like,
Who you think it is?
"Well."
Whatever. All right, let's go to the phone. Rickey's Smiley Morning Show. Good morning.
My name is Keisha from Dallas, Texas, and I was calling. I am married, and my husband filed a divorce. I was told by the judge to do a parenting class. I've done the parenting classes. This was a year ago, and I haven't heard anything. So I guess the question would be is what can I do on my end to push the divorce through?
Well, I always tell everybody it is your responsibility to follow your case. So if you know somebody is suing you for a divorce or whatever, suing you for any type of litigation, or you have filed a suit against someone, it is your responsibility to keep up with your case. So it is that person's responsibility to make sure they got a court date or to file something with the court. But the court don't come looking for you. And so if people are not hearing from the court, call and check the clerk's office. You can file something, but it is always your responsibility to keep up with your case.
Aren't you on with Judge Nikita Blocton? Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Marcus. I was calling because I have possession of the kids, but she put me on child support. I was wondering what I should do.
Well, like I always tell people that just because somebody filed a lawsuit against you, you always have a duty to respond. You can respond. A lot of people don't respond or file a petition. Instead, they just don't show up to court. So I always tell somebody, if somebody has filed something against you, then you have the right to file a response. And in your response, the judge will hear your response as well as what they're saying, and the judge will hear both cases and make a decision based upon the law. And generally, the law is whoever has physical custody, is usually the one is the one that has the child. So therefore, they usually don't be the one to pay the child support absent some other circumstances. But if somebody's suing somebody for child support and you know you got the child, then the best thing to do is file a response with the court and let the court make the decision as to how that situation should be handled.
All right, you on with Judge Nikita Blocton. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Miranda. I'm calling from Montgomery, and I was just calling to see if my ex-husband is behind on child support, and we have to take him to court. We got to pay all these court costs and everything. Can I request that he pay the court costs as well as any attorney fees, or because he's the reason I have to go back to court?
Well, we talked about this earlier, Ricky. We talked about the fact that anybody can sue anybody for anything. So if you want to sue for your attorney fees, if somebody want to sue for court costs or sue for any type of thing, it would be up to the judge to determine whether or not you are entitled to the relief that you get. But again, I always tell people I can't give you legal advice. Always contact your local bar association or find an attorney in that area that can specifically advise you on your issue. But you can sue for anything, and the judge is the person that makes the decision based upon the law.
All right, you on with Judge Nikita Blocton. Good morning.
Hi, my name's Jason from Illinois. My question for the judge is, I've taken care of my sister for the last year or so, and my stepfather, her biological father, really hasn't been helping out. I'm just wondering for questions as far as getting child support or what steps I would need to take to get custody of my sister per se.
Okay. Well, Ricky, you know this story. You ain't always got to be the parent to get custody, right? So we see that all the time, where people, we got aunts, we have sisters, we have other people who are not even related. We call them third parties. Well, third parties do have a right in general to sue if they have physical custody of a person and actually provide for that person. And if a parent has a fundamental duty to support their child, and if that child isn't in their physical care, then certainly whoever that third party is, whether it's DHR, whether it's a non-relative, if they got custody, they can always ask for child support.
There it is. You on with Judge Nikita Blocton. Good morning.
My question is about women that keeping their children away from their fathers, from great fathers. And, I'm paying all child support, doing what I need to do as a father. My ex is not allowing me to see him, and, she's all on her terms.
Again, we talked about the right. The courthouse is an open door to everybody. The courthouse not only has open doors for people who want child support, but the courthouse doors are open for people who would like custody, who would like visitation. But the court does not know that you want these things if you don't file a petition asking for these things. So if that is whatever a person is requesting, the only way to get it before a judge for a judge to consider is you have to file something to invoke that judge's jurisdiction to make a decision on that issue. But as long as you're thinking about it and you haven't filed anything with the court, then you don't put it in the hands of the court to decide.
Oh, wow. Wow, Eva Brett, do she not be dropping knowledge?
I mean,
man, I need you now.
I need to take some notes.
Yeah. You sit around and have a conversation with her, you'll learn a lot about the law.
It happens a lot. I get cases that come before me, and one person is talking about one thing, and the other person is saying, but Judge, this, and I said, hey, but I don't have the power because the only thing that's been properly brought before me is this. But invoke my jurisdiction, and I will listen to it. But a judge only has authority to hear the issue that is properly before him or her. If no one has filed anything properly bringing that issue up, then the judge does not have the authority or the jurisdiction to make that decision.
Graduate of Woodlawn High School.
Yes, Jersey.
Graduate of Miles College. Graduated college as a single mom. Member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Judge Nakita Blocton.
Woo! Nikita!
Judge Blocton. Let everybody know, give somebody number if they have any type of questions.
So of course,
I know your docket is probably full. You don't have time to be on the phone because you got all those court cases.
Well, my docket starts in less than 45 minutes, but I'm here early to help explain to people the judicial process if possible. So, again, but for those, judges cannot give legal advice, but we do have a duty to make sure people at least understand the law and the process. But if you need an attorney, I always tell people contact your local bar association in your city, or you can contact the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers. I always say that get somebody that is actually experienced in that field. Each law is unique to its own area. So you're looking for an experienced family law attorney, you can contact the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers. Their website is www.aaml.org. You can always contact your local bar association. If you cannot afford an attorney, most states have what's called a volunteer lawyers program. Lawyers are encouraged to get so many pro bono hours. And so a lot of these lawyers, even when I was practicing, I was on this list, and I would take so many cases and do them for free. So that's the Volunteer Lawyers Program.
Hey, Judge Blocton, thank you for giving my son Malik an opportunity to work with you in your courtroom. He is dressed up every day, coming to work, and he's excited. You should have saw him laying his clothes out last night, ready to go to court. So he's serious about law.
He is like so serious. He is such a humble and intelligent young man, and I tell you, I think I'm more blessed with the opportunity than he is, you know, to just have him here, to his willingness to just learn different facets of the area of law and to be so humble and willing to just try anything new. But I tell you, you know, raise up a child and show him the way to go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. So he's here, he's working hard, and that robe looked really good on him, didn't it? It fit him, huh?
It did. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Nikita Blocton, the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Yes.